Todd Labarowski is with us today as an assistant director. Explain the different levels of the assistant directors. There's the first, second, and third ADs.
That's correct. The first assistant director and the second assistant director, and there's actually a second assistant director on a feature film. On commercials, there's a first assistant director and a second assistant director, and depending on the size of it, you may have a second assistant director. That depends on how many talent that you have. The first assistant director's role on a feature film is first and foremost to break down the script, which is an involved process. You're going to have to figure out exactly how many props are in the scene. You're breaking down all the shots. For the director, you're basically the liaison between the director and the crew and what happens. You're running everything that's going on as far as the coordination and logistics go. You're also going to have to scout locations, and you've got to think on your feet. It's a very involved job. Now your second assistant director is going to be in charge of the call sheets and the production reports. And everything that's involved with the talent, like running them through the works, which means hair and makeup and wardrobe. And then the second assistant director on a feature film would run your production reports. And then also fill in for the second assistant director with the running of talent, because there's a point in the day on a feature film where the second assistant director has to go to his laptop and start working on the call sheet for the next day. So there's a lot involved in those positions, but that kind of differentiates them on a feature film. Now on a commercial, you're trying to condense a story into a small time period. Instead of having a 110-page script, now you've got only a 30-second spot or a 20-second spot. So it's a different mentality that you have to have for that. In that case, the first assistant director will only come in for like 3 days of prep, or 2 days, or how large the shoot is. If it's a one-day shoot, maybe 1 day before, he'll come in and they'll scout the locations, figure out what we need to shoot the shot, and get the schedule done in a timely fashion. Another important aspect for an assistant director too is getting things done on a schedule and sticking to that schedule, because in the film business, time is money. So if you're on a 10-hour day or a 12-hour day, anything that you run over that may cost the money, whether it's the film production company for a feature film or for a commercial. The advertising agency, it could cost thousands of dollars just to be a little bit over schedule. So it's a high pressure type job.
Lots of money involved.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into this?
Well, if you're wanting to get into the film business, I'd be ready for some eye-opening experiences. It's not glamorous like most people think.
What are the work hours?
Usually a typical day for me, on a commercial, for instance, we have a 6 a.m. call time, so I'm usually out on the set about like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and then I'm usually the last person on the set. After a 12-hour day, I'm getting out of there at like 9 o'clock at night. I'd say that's a typical day of filmmaking.
And the stress level involved. It's
a high-pressure job, that's for sure. I've learned over the years to take the stress a lot less personally on the set, and I'm taking a lot better care of myself these days because it is a stressful job. As a matter of fact, in the Directors Guild, they have a pension and health care plan, and we've got probably one of the best health care plans in the country. And that's because most directors and assistant directors die at like in their mid-50s. So
oh, wow.
I think that's why the coverage is so good. But anyways, yeah.
It's a lot going on a set. Lots of people to watch out for. What is the relationship with the assistant directors and the director?
Well, that's a tight relationship, and I was thinking about that on my drive over here to your show. I was thinking about how important that is. This business is all about rapport, but it's really all about that connection that artistic connection that you have with that person. Since you're under such intense hours and such an intense timeline, you really have to connect with that person. So a lot of times a director will choose a first assistant director, and he may use that person for the rest of his life.
Todd, thanks so much for coming. We wish you all the best.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And good luck with your show. This is a great idea.
Thank you very much. And we'll be back right after this.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
That concludes our program. Thank you for watching. Send us a comment or question by email to belowtheline21@gmail.com. We'll see you soon.
For more information, email us at belowtheline21@gmail.com.